This lesson is preparing to go out on your own. The objectives for this lesson are to look at the advantages and disadvantages to business ownership. To ask the question, do you have the entrepreneurial spirit? Are you ready? Creating a business plan, manage your time wisely, and strive for excellence and integrity. What are the advantages to business ownership? Well, you get to make all the decisions. You get to set your own hours. You get to be as creative as you want. There's no limit to how much money you can make. You can't be fired or laid off, and you get to choose who you work with. These are some great advantages to business ownership. However, there are some disadvantages to business ownership as well, such as you are totally responsible if things go wrong. That means you assume all the risk if you fail. You must be good at managing your money. You actually could lose a substantial amount of money, and your income will definitely fluctuate from year to year. To me, the biggest thing, it's more stress than a 9-to-5 job. So be ready for all of these things as disadvantages, and you need to make sure that you can handle these before you go into business. To be a business owner, you need to have that entrepreneurial spirit. You need to have an outgoing personality, able to talk to people easily and with confidence. You need to be good at selling yourself. You need to be able to work long hours. You need to be creative and be able to think out of the box. You need to be able to save cash for those lean times, and there will be lean times. You really need to ask yourself, do you have what it takes to succeed in business? You need to have good prospects for your services, a good network of people to help you. You have to have some overall general business knowledge in areas such as accounting, sales, personnel management, marketing, legal. You need to be able to hire people to help you with these if you're not good at those things. You need to be great at what you do. If you have all of these things, you are probably well on your way to having what it takes to being a successful business owner. It's important that you ask yourself, are you ready at this time to go out on your own and start a business? The biggest thing, do you have enough money? You need to have at least 6 months of living expenses stored away to survive any downtimes. And I'm assuming that you are living within or below your means. You're not overextended in any one area. Also, make sure you discuss with your significant other if you have one. You need to have their approval because otherwise you could get into some serious relationship issues if they're not on board with this. Also, ask your friends. I love hitting up my friends and ask them things about my life because sometimes they have a little more objective opinion than I do. So make sure you listen to those friends. They can also maybe help you prepare to take this next step in your professional career. Realize that being a 9-to-5er does not cut it when you're in business for yourself. You have to be willing to work long hours or do not become self-employed. I'd also highly recommend you talk to the Small Business Administration, the SBA, here in the United States, or you probably have other business type of organizations in your area that will help you get started with a business. They'll help you in such areas as sales and marketing, business plans, loans, even assigning mentors to you, and I highly recommend you get a mentor or two for your business venture. Now, I'm not going to go into all the particulars of creating a business plan. There are whole courses around that. There are templates you can download off of Google, and I'll have a sample of some of those links and everything in the lab for this section. But you want to create a business plan. A business plan is an executive summary of what your company does. What makes your company unique? Why would someone hire you? It's going to identify financial goals for your business. That'll be a financial projection. We're going to create a mission statement. So why are you in business? So these are things that go into your business plan. Also in your business plan is a marketing plan. This is where you identify your target markets and your customers. You're also going to create a sales plan. How do you plan to reach your markets? You're going to identify your competitors and tell why you are different. You also want to find out how much they charge so you're not too far above or below them. You're probably also going to want to create a set of operating processes and procedures. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about this in just a minute. You're going to want to determine the type of legal entity you will be, and I got more on that coming up in the next lesson. Also, do you plan to hire employees eventually? If so, how many? What kind of people are you going to need? You need to identify the insurance necessary for your field, and identify any technology you need to use or acquire for your business. Processes and procedures help you manage each piece of your business. How projects are run, how you manage clients, how you manage the sales process, the marketing process, how you manage employees and contractors, and just about any aspect of your business, you're going to want to have certain processes and procedures in place. You want to be able to document those because by having these formal processes in place, it makes you look more professional. And this will be a good selling point to your client. Large businesses like to see formality such as process and procedures. And make sure you stick to your processes, but realize that processes and procedures will change over time, so don't be afraid to change and adapt. I sure hope you're good at time management because this is a critical skill to have. I would highly recommend you get a good time tracking app. Manage all the tasks you need to perform by putting them into that app, such as your client projects, when you're doing sales and marketing, when you're doing your business management, things like billing, collections, accounting. Okay, don't get so busy on doing a project that you forget to bill for your work. Also, manage employees and contractors. If you got employees, you got contractors on staff and they're there with you, make sure you check in with them every day. That should be part of your time management. And very important, manage your personal time. You need personal time. When you worked for a company, you put in 40 hours on a project, for example. When you work for yourself, you still need to put 40 hours on a project, but you need additional hours to work on your business. This means you need to devote additional hours to sales and marketing, accounting, employees, and again, your personal time. Don't forget about that personal time. I can't stress enough how important that is. But you can see that this does not equate to a 40-hour week, does it? This means 40 hours of billable time for you to work on your projects that you need to get done for your clients, but then the additional hours you need to work on your business. So this means you really need to balance your work and your personal life probably a lot better than you ever have in your life, because you're probably going to be putting in 50 to 70 hours a week those first few years of running your business. You probably need to work at least 37 billable hours a week in order to pay your salary, or it may be more or less than that depending on how much you get to charge your clients. But the rest of the time then, to equal that 50 to 70 hours or whatever you're going to end up doing, the rest of that time is devoted to keeping up with your industry, doing sales, marketing, bookkeeping, taxes, working with employees. You have to do all of these all the time. You can't ever stop doing these. If you stop doing these and you're focused just on your client and that client goes away, you're going to have problems. Now, with knowing all of this, what's the best time to start a consulting company? Well, if you can, start before you're married and you have kids. If this is not possible, then again, very important that you have buy-in from your significant other. And speaking of that, please don't forget about your significant other and your kids. Make sure you put into your time management system spending time with them. You designate your work hours and your home hours, and don't let the two overlap, even if you work from home, especially if you work from home. Take vacations. You're going to need the downtime, trust me. Put on your out-of-office notification in your email. Let your customers know you're going to be gone during a certain period of time. And if you can, try to have a backup person that can handle any things that come up while you're gone. When you become a business owner, professionalism is the key word. Do what you say you're going to do. Treat everyone with respect. Be honest and trustworthy. If you have integrity, that equals trust. Trust equals long-term customers, and that's what you're after. Those are going to be your bread and butter. If you make a mistake, own up to it, but most importantly, fix it. So in this lesson, we talked about running a business takes a lot of work. So determine if you are ready for this step. Ensure you have enough backup resources at your disposal, things like 6 months of living expenses. Also, keep everything professional. Create a business plan, create processes and procedures, and manage your time wisely. Now, in the lab for this particular lesson, I do have a nice little checklist in a spreadsheet. I want you to go through that, take your time and look at and really evaluate yourself and whether you think you are ready to take this most important step in your career. Coming up next, keeping it legal.